And I'm live. Oh, we have
Hi.
Ali.
Am I
Yay!
am I super late?
No, I literally just clicked go live and I was so nervous.
Yeah, because I forgot last time.
Oh, we know.
I am so sorry. So this happened because okay, well, it's not an excuse, but I was on tour like the week before,
Hmm.
and then I got back home and I was like, "Well, I'm done. I'm done with everything. I'm done with life." And then yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We were like writing. I was writing the publisher, and then I was getting like auto responses, and they're like, if you need Ali, write this person. So I wrote that person and got an auto response because it was during the 4th of July weekend, and I was just like, I don't know what to do.
I am so sorry. I am sorry. I do this all the time. Like I'm just really bad in terms of anyway, I apologize. Totally my fault. I'm really sorry.
It is perfectly fine. It happens. I mean, this is not the first time that this has actually happened. So
Okay, that's good. We should form a club of like the people who forget everything. Please put me in touch.
yeah, you would go right along with Amanda Foodie because
Okay, perfect.
we were like, do we have another Amanda Foodie situation?
I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. And as far as my two co-hosts, Clint was not able to make it today, and Kaylani is coming, but she had a baby emergency at the
Oh,
last minute. So she wrote me and she's like, I'll be there. I'll just be a couple minutes late. And I was
I
like,
get it.
okay.
I get it. I get it. I totally get it. It's fine.
So, hello to everybody that's here watching. If you don't already know, this is the live show, like delayed live show author chat with Ali, where we're going to be discussing the group book from Camp SeasonAthon, which was Love Theoretically. And I can tell you that me and both of my co hosts absolutely loved it.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad.
And we had lots. We talked about it. We actually did still have our live show, so we talked about it, and then we talked about the readathon and all of that. I'll tell you that we all gave this 5 stars.
I am so sorry that you guys have to do this twice. Like I cannot believe I have to talk about this book again.
It's okay. We all gave it 5 stars. We all absolutely loved it. We did have some questions about certain things, and it was
That
funny.
was happy.
Because it's been over a month since I've read this.
Of
um,
course. I wonder whose fault that is.
it's funny because we actually all were like, we're going to read this right before the live show. And we all read it the day before the live show. So it'd be fresh in our brain. But I had to go back and like rewatch that part of the live show so I could remember everything that
Right.
we wanted to talk about. Um, so let me go through these comments really quick. Hello, T. Hello, Bethany. T says she loved it too. Bethany says it was amazing. I was in hysterics at some point. Um, okay, my number one question
Yes.
from, from the original live was what's with the cheese?
You know, I've been wondering because I think maybe I really wanted cheese while I was writing it. I think I felt the cheese at the time, but I remember that even when I was going through like past pages, which is like so they send you copy edits. Well, first you do edits with your editor, like the developmental edits, and then you do copy edits, and then they send you these past pages that is the very last draft that you see as an author. And so that's like 6 to 8 months after you turn in a book. And I remember even then I was like, wow, I must have really been into cheese at the time because right now I'm like, I don't know. So I don't know.
Kaylani just joined us, so let me add her in. Hello,
Hi, so
Kaylani.
nice to see
Sorry,
you
I'm
again.
late.
It's okay. We were actually talking about the previous live show. In the previous
Is the
live show,
baby okay?
Kaylani did this whole Love Theoretically makeup look.
Oh,
She
But
was
it's
maxing
okay.
the
You know
book. She was
what?
looking fierce.
I plan on meeting you next month at Steamy LitCon, so I'll do my makeup then.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be the best, honestly. I
Yes,
feel
I'm so excited to see you in person.
like same. I'm very excited. Like just come to me if you see me and hug me as you should be doing. Celebrate our friendship, and I will apologize for not showing up last time.
Yeah. I actually met an author yesterday that met you at a Polycon.
Oh, who?
Her name's Kristen Long.
Oh,
She's a debut author,
okay.
and she wrote, Thief of Sorrows.
Oh,
It,
I'm very
it's
bad.
a where where is it?
I feel like I feel like I would remember the cover.
Okay, it's not in my bag. It's a gender bent Robin Hood.
Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, I remember. Yes. I think Giselle introduced us.
And she was like, Allie's so sweet. And I was like,
Yeah.
Allie's on my channel tomorrow.
Or is she? Or is she?
Hopefully. Kaylani, you missed it. I actually went live and it was just me. She got here like right as I was like, we're live. And then she had joined and I was like, oh, thank goodness.
I am so sorry. I was looking for the link for my email. Yeah, I know.
We're just happy that you're here. How are you doing since the last time we spoke?
I mean, great. We went on tour. I was telling that like we went on tour, and I feel like it's kind of exhausting going on tour. Like I didn't expect it to be so exhausting, but like it's not like the tour itself; it's the traveling.
Yeah.
And then I went back home, and I think a couple of days later, I had the live, and I just kind of was like, I shut down completely. I was like, that's it, I'm done. Nothing else to do. It's over. And then I was like, oh wait, maybe it wasn't over. Maybe
it wasn't quite over. She just forgot. It is okay. I told her, I was like, this is not the first time this has happened.
Sorry, that was driving me crazy.
How are you? How have you been? Is the baby okay?
Baby's fine. Yeah, it wasn't anything with him. It was just like nobody else was around. I had to take him to my mother-in-law's house, so we had traffic. It was just a lot more chaos than I had wanted.
Yeah, I told her that there was a baby emergency and that you were coming, but you were going to be a little bit late.
Yeah, sorry.
And
I asked her about the cheese before you got.
I don't even have an explanation. I think I must have been into cheese at the time.
You were just hungry. You were hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I know Clint was saying in the last live that he said he wondered if you are lactose intolerant because he's like, sometimes people that are like lactose intolerant really, really want cheese.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, maybe she's lactose intolerant.
I don't think I am, but my husband recently is going on this weird like bender of let's like buy vegan ice cream, or like he wants to try to be, and he's not a vegan and he's not a vegetarian, but like for example he would buy the like Impossible burgers, the Impossible chicken nuggets and stuff, and I'm like, can we just have the real chicken nuggets? And he's like, no. And he has also convinced himself, now he has switched to oat milk because he's like, he has convinced himself that he's lactose intolerant. But like there is one of those things, you know what I'm saying? Like there is no symptom of this.
Yeah.
It's like in his head. So no, maybe I knew that this was gonna happen and that my house was only gonna have oat milk in it.
I love that.
Okay, one thing that I know everybody was talking about that they just loved were all of the Twilight references. Are you a big Twihard fan?
So I love Twilight and everything it represents, but I am not like, I wasn't obsessed with Twilight when it came out. Like I read the books. I think I watched all of the movies, but I'm not even sure. Like, I love the idea, but I'm definitely not like a huge Twilight fan. It wasn't like a huge fandom for me, even though I definitely like the idea of Bella and Edward, and I wanted them to be happy and stuff. I was very. I think I was in college when the movie in which he breaks the headboard while they're having sex came out, and I still remember me and like my roommates being like, oh, "We have to watch that movie." Because yeah, that was a beautiful movie. But like overall, I'm not a huge Twilight fan.
So what inspired all the Twilight in this?
I think it all started kind of with as I was writing Cece, I was writing this character who, you know, really likes this. She's the movie taste of Cece's movie taste. That Cece is Darcy's roommate, and her movie taste is very much modeled after my husband's movie taste, which is like these 7 hour long Russian movies in black and white and with no dialogue. And it's like he's like, oh look, it's sublime. I love the cinematography, and he'll say these things, and I'm like, yeah, but what is happening here? And I kind of like the idea of, I didn't want Cece and Elsie to have a lot of conflict between them, but I did want, I wanted like, I want there to be a moment in which Elsie kind of opened up to Cece. And so that's kind of how it started in a way. And then I sort of leaned into it for other things. And it was fun to write the scene in which, he gets into the fact, like, he kind of picks up that she loves Twilight without her even telling him very openly. And then they, of course, they have to watch Twilight together, which I thought was fun.
The steamy scene with Twilight going in the background.
I kept, like, as I was writing it, I was like, is this, like, are they're having too much sex with Twilight in the background? No. So I think I made them talk about it at some point. Like, I think he addresses it as like, oh, this is the second time we do this to Twilight, because I was like, this is too many times. Like, I have to like lampshade it a little bit.
I will definitely say I read everything that you've put out so far, and your steamy scenes get progressively longer as the books go on, and I personally am here for it. I think that is the best.
It's really a matter of like pushing the boundaries and what can I get away with my editor. And I feel like the more books I am in, the more I have pushed a little bit more. My next one is definitely going to be steamier. The one that the next one after that, it's going to be steamier as well. So, but well, actually, she hasn't given me edits back for that one. So who knows?
I love the build-up.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No.
I was just saying, I love the build-up that they had. Like, not just the steamy scene, but like the anticipation, the building up to it. It was just like, oh, Lord.
That is really fun to write, I think. Like the whole, are they gonna kiss now? Oh, no, they're not gonna. Will they? No. Like it's that.
I loved the kind of twist on a fake dating.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
especially seeing as your first book was, fake dating. I think that it was really interesting how you kind of turned that on its head and used it as something totally different while still incorporating that trope per se into the story. What was the idea behind that? How did you come to that?
So I think what I really, really loved was the idea. So it was like, I don't know. I had the idea of fake dating, but she doesn't end up with the person she's fake dating. So that was it at its core. But then I thought, what if the person she's fake dating is a person who is, very close and very dear to the main male character. And so he has this, he's jealous and he's very attracted to her, but like there's also this guilt and this, sense of jealousy towards someone that he really loves. And it just seemed delicious to me, like the way he would, like Jack would probably really feel shitty about it because, he really, he likes her, but she is also the one person his brother has brought home in years. And she's like, and he's, he's kind of his brother's best friend, and in my head, they have always been kind of allies in this like very messed up family. And so I think I really wanted to write that tension between what he wants and what he feels like he can't have. And like also write that moment where he's like, oh, actually, it's not as bad. And, it's, it's, I think that's how kind of it came about. But like the first thing was really just whenever you pick up a fake dating book, you're like, well, she's gonna end up with the person that she's fake dating. I was like, but what if it's someone else?
Yeah, I love that.
I really liked the fact that as hard as it was for her, and it definitely would have been so much easier for her to just say, hey, this is what's going on. She didn't out him, and she went through it because of sticking to the fake dating thing. She didn't want to spill his secrets.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really awesome, even though that would have made her life so much easier to just admit what was going on.
Totally. And I think she doesn't even think about, like, I think at the beginning she's like, well, I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna clear it up, and then like she literally is about to tell him, and she's like, wait, I can't, like, this is not my story to tell. It's his, like, Greg's story to tell. He's gonna be the one who says it and tells it if he wants to say it. And so I feel like she couldn't, like, I feel like I would have respected it less as a character if she hadn't done that.
We were also talking about how we like the whole he falls first, and then he was like, yeah, I mean, I feel this way, this is how it is. And she's like, no, you can't. And he's like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
you'll get it, you'll get there.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was fun to write. I feel like my other male characters have been more either grumpy or shy, but like Jackie's very self-assured. I think he's not, like, he really says what he thinks and what he wants. So it's very hard for there to be like real miscommunication between them, because he just puts it out. He just says it. And I thought it was just fun to write something like that.
He was so sweet and kind and caring, and he became like all of our book boyfriends, and we were all like, we love him.
I love him too, honestly. He is also kind of an asshole sometimes. Like, he'll say things that you're like, wow, shut up. Like, this is not kind. But like, he truly does it because, he loves her and he sees her, and he wants her to feel like she can be herself with him,
Outside of the relationship aspect of this, I think this is something that we talked about in the last live as well, was the introduction of this sham of an interview. And do you find that that's something that is very prevalent in the STEM industry when it comes to big jobs like this?
It's definitely common in academia. Like, bad faith interviews are a known thing. And part of the issue is that a lot of universities have to advertise positions, like, just legally, even though there is an obvious candidate who's going to fill it, because either the candidate is from that department or the candidate is like, basically like a candidate that everyone knows is going to apply because they are, for example, a spousal hire. That's an option. Sometimes departments make a job for the husband or the wife of a person who already works there, but they can't just hire that person. They have to still advertise the job, and it becomes one of the situations where there are so few jobs in academia, and especially so few jobs at like R1 institutions where there is a lot of research going on, that you are gonna have like 200 rabid newly graduate PhDs who are like, oh my god, that job, I gotta apply, and they all apply. And I think it's heartbreaking, sometimes even for the people who are in the committee having to do that. So that's pretty common. I think it's definitely common. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen in departments that I've been, and yeah, sometimes the committee that, like, it's so hard. There are so many degrees of bad faith interviews where it's hard to say what is actually done on purpose, where they are deliberately lying to the applicants, and what, like, sometimes even the committee doesn't really know what's going on, but there are like directives from above that some other person would have to be hired. I really liked kind of the idea of like, I wanted, like, I knew from the very beginning when I started writing the book that I wanted her not to get the job. Like, I wanted her to get to the midpoint of the book, and the job just didn't materialize. And that's because I really do think that that wouldn't have been the best job for her, but also just because it's something that happens in real life, like not just in academia. Sometimes you really try your best. You put all of yourself into something. You know, work days and nights. You really expend all your energies on something, and then it just doesn't pan out. It doesn't go through, and like it's just very depressing and very sad, but
It happens.
it happens. And so it has happened to me in the past, like in academia and outside of academia. And I'm like, okay, so when that happens, what do you do? Like, how do you pick up, like, when the worst thing you can imagine happens, how do you pick up your life? And I kind of wanted to write a book where Elsie was in that position of having to figure herself out. So, okay, I didn't get this job that was everything that I wanted. That was, you know, when I was writing it, what I was hoping was that the readers would think that the job would be like the entire arc of the book. But instead, what happens is that the job kind of like drops out halfway. So what can she do at this point? And that's when you see her starting slowly working on relationships, slowly being like, okay, what do I like? What can I do? How do I get health insurance? And you know, she's lucky because the person who actually got the job wants to hire her, for example. And so yeah, that was definitely fun to write.
Speaking of the person that gets the job, one of the things I pointed out in the last live was that I love the fact that, well, okay, so right away, like, her brain did go to the, oh, how'd she get it, blah blah blah, but then she stopped herself and was like,
Yeah.
no, that she earned this, she deserves
Yeah.
this, I should not be putting her down,
Yeah.
you know,
That was,
empower,
I
you know.
went back and forth on that scene so long because I was like, am I making Elsie too unlikable? But like, here's what I really wanted. So the entire time she is thinking, oh wow, if this guy gets the job, this guy is not as good as I am. I am a woman in science and I am not very good, and I am very good, but like no one supports me. So that's what she's thinking. Then she meets George. Not only George is a woman in STEM, but she is even like a better, more experienced scientist. And George is a woman of color. So Georgia is someone who has been even more like, STEM academia is hard on women, but like it's way harder on women of color. And so, like, I think Elsie has to have this moment when she's like, I am not the victim here. Like, this is you know, even if it hadn't been a bad faith interview, she would have gotten the job. Like, it sucks that the interview was bad faith. It sucks that Monica had the department chair had her go through all those steps knowing that she was never going to be to get the job. It sucks that people weren't open and clear with her, but like, George deserves the job. So it was really, I don't know. I think it's valid. Like, I wanted Elsie's reaction to ring true, as in like, your first reaction is this bitch, and then for her to take a step back and be like, wait, no, that's not how this is going. And
that's the great thing about this, though, is like, I feel like all aspects of this book was very realistic. Maybe not the fake dating. Not everyone goes in and fake dates for money, you know. But when you think about some of the situations that Elsie got herself in, and how she kind of pedals back and says, hey, let me be more self-aware, that's super realistic for people in everyday life. Because as a person that maybe, if I put myself in those shoes, that's probably my first thought too. But the fact that you're like, okay, hold on a second, it's really calling attention to other people that also think that way as well.
Yeah, 100%. Totally. And she assumes a lot of things about, for example, Jack, about, you know, Greg, about the family, about George. Like, she makes a lot of mistakes. And Jack too, like, you know, again, there is that scene, the first few scenes after she finds out about the job, and the one before when like they go pick up Greg, and then Jack finds out basically from like he doesn't really find out, but like he understands the context that Greg hired her because, or somehow recruited her because he just doesn't want to take a day to his family stuff. And like, Jack has screwed up very much with Greg because even though they're very close, Greg has tried to tell him, I am not interested in a relationship. I don't think romantic relationships are for me. And like Jack's reaction was, well, it'll get better. Like, don't worry about it. So I feel like Elsie and Jack are very flawed, but I like writing them as coming to terms
Real.
with that. Like it's like, okay, so we screwed up, but can we come back from that? And George, let's be honest, George is truly the most interesting and fun character to write because she's just like really good at her job and she's fun and she has an amazing wife and she makes fun of Jack and Jack is scared of her. So it's fun. She's kind of like I don't know, the most kick-ass character in the book.
I also like that they became like besties right away.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, this person that she originally was like, oh my gosh, she stole my job. Well, so not only this person had it harder than you, Elsie, but also this person is extending you so much grace and is being so helpful. So it was like truly, it's fun to write about Elsie being like, oh, I fucked up. Like that was not good of me.
That scene where Greg spills the beans is just hilarious.
I know.
It was like a hoot and a half all the way through. I was like dying. I think at one point he was naked.
Like,
oh gosh.
He wanted to pee in the kitchen, I think, or something.
I loved that scene so much. That was one of those. I was just cracking up.
I love to write, read, watch scenes in which characters are drunk or high, like especially if they. I mean, it's always fun, but like there is. I don't know if you guys watch K-drama, but in K-dramas there is always a scene where one of the two characters is drunk and like something major happens, like they confess their love or like there's an almost kiss, and then of course they don't remember the following day, and like I just truly love writing those scenes. They're so fun.
So we have a lot of comments. Let me go through some of these real quick. T said, I couldn't make it to the last live, so it's fine for me.
Yeah.
Hello, Ashley here. Hello, Ashley. Oh yeah, we actually had a few people that came to that first live and were like, well, I haven't read the book yet. And we're like, it's okay, you have time. Let's see, Bethany says, literally, I am cheese obsessed and was relating so much to all the cheese love. I was so curious if Ali also had a cheese thing.
I mean, I like cheese, but I am by no means I like cheese because it's good, but I can't tell apart, like, camembert and what's the other one that's like and brie, for example. Like, I'm not good at that,
Oh, we had a lot of people that were like, I just want to sit around watching Twilight and eating cheese.
Okay, that sounds amazing, honestly.
How do you find book cons to go to? I'm interested. Google.
Yeah, so I mean, as an author, usually like they email us and they tell us the sign up is open.
And for people that are just attending, Google.
Yeah.
Well, I actually found out about Steamy LitCon on Instagram.
Yeah, because Steamy LitCon is the first year that it happens, and I think they don't have any more tickets for sale, but I think it's gonna happen next year too. And I think Steamy LitCon, the person who organizes it is Mel. And she's on Instagram, and I am a stan of Mel, so she's just really cool. She has steamy boxes, Lit boxes. She does so many cool things. So if you follow her on Instagram, you'll know more.
Yes.
Is it Books by Mel? Book Crafts?
I think so. Yeah.
And
it was so crazy. I've never been to a book convention other than like a paid book convention. Mel and I went to Y'all West last year.
Oh yeah.
But it's so crazy because I've never been to a book convention. I've been talking about going. My birthday was actually yesterday. My birthday was yesterday, and I was like, thank you. I want something to do. And so I live in Anaheim. Well, at the time I lived in Anaheim Hills, and I found out it was in Anaheim, and I was like, it's meant to be.
Oh my God. Actually, okay, so you're basically living in Disney, like that's
not that close. I live in Anaheim Hills, which is a little bit further out, but it was like a 10-minute drive. Now I live in Fountain Valley. I just moved, which is part of the craziness going on. I just moved. So I live 10, 20 minutes from Anaheim Convention Center. So like no time. I'll be moving my books back and forth. My husband was making fun of me because he was like, are you going to bring a book cart? And I'm like, I might. He's like, you're such a nerd.
I have seen people with book carts at cons, and I'm like, every time I'm like, I love you guys.
Y'all Fest in Charleston, South Carolina, nearly everyone has a book cart when you go.
I'm not the only one.
I love Y'all Fest is one of my favorites to go to, and
I do what we gotta do.
And I also think if you guys haven't heard of Steamy Lit, and it happens next year, they have so many fantastic authors that are going to be there. Trad authors, self-pub authors, indie authors, and they're doing like events, a ball, movie stuff. Like it's going to be a blast. So if you guys go next year.
It sounds amazing.
I'm wondering if it'll be in LA again next year, or if it's going to be somewhere else. Because that's so far.
Yeah. So the other two big cons that I always hear everyone talk about are Apolicon, which is usually in DC, I think, and Book Bonanza, which is somewhere here in Texas.
Yep. And then Rare. Rare was in England or London.
I think Rare is in different cities because I will be in Rare Florence in September. I don't know. Maybe they do it every year in London, and then like they do an additional one in a different. I don't know.
Maybe.
But so these are really the cons that you might want to watch.
There's one in Vegas that happens. I forget what that one's called, but that one happens every year in Vegas. There's a few. It's just like if you don't live in the city, it's kind of hard to because the tickets are expensive and flights and hotels. It's a whole thing.
Just Google, because there's also a lot of smaller ones too. I live in close to Chattanooga. We have a small one here called Yahoo Fest. We have in Atlanta, there's the Decatur Book Festival. It's just outside of Atlanta. And then Charleston's not too far. That's Y'all Fest. I think there's one up in Nashville, I think, but I haven't been to that one. But I know that there's a big bookstore, Parnassus, I believe is the name of it. And they do a lot of stuff up there. That's in Nashville. There are a lot. And even I know Clint was talking about how there's some where he lives in Oklahoma and Texas that it's close by and things like that. You just Google it.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Book festivals are also kind of similar, not a con, but and usually they're free. You can just walk in.
There was one in LA just a few months ago.
I love the LA Book Festival.
I was bummed because I wanted to go because Kennedy Ryan is going to be there, but then Kennedy Ryan's going to be at Steamy Lit, so it's fine.
I am so excited to meet her. I would be thank you for destroying me emotionally.
Yeah, no, seriously. I have my whole collection up there of all of my Kennedy Ryans.
You have to bring the cards.
All of them. They will be all there. I also bought her special edition that she's selling at Steamy Lit, so I'm pumped. I'll be crying when I meet you, and I'll be crying when I meet her. It'll just be tears all around.
Cry together as we meet Kennedy and be you have killed us, but then you made us
truly killed us.
Okay, getting back to the comments. Let's see. T says oat milk is the best. Bethany said the Twilight hentai scene was so left field. I was in stitches. That was great. It was funny because we actually in the last live had to explain to Kaylani what hentai was.
Oh, and I missed it.
I know. I was right over my head, oblivious.
I was like, I know what hentai is from two things. One, Cards Against Humanity. Because I've gotten that card that says that, and I had to Google it. And two, my son, who's 17, has that on his wall. So
I love this for him. I love that he's embracing his love for hentai.
He's a mess. I had so much respect for her not spilling, even as I was yelling in my head at him, they're not dating. I really appreciated all the realisticness while still being a great rom-com.
Yes.
OMG, classic K-drama scene. Always
love
had me cracking up. Yeah, Bethany is big into K-dramas. I saw Barbie yesterday and really liked it. Interesting message on expectations women have to deal with. Have you had a chance to see it, and did it resonate with you?
I haven't because my husband is currently in Germany. He's from Germany, so he goes back in the summer. He's coming back, and when he comes back, we're gonna do like a 1 day Barbenheimer thing. I will be wanting to do this, and I'm very excited. But I can tell you, fans who have seen it love that movie so much.
So we were gonna do a Barbie Oppenheimer kind of thing. We went and we saw Barbie, but Oppenheimer is like 3 hours.
I know.
And it's like we went to the theater and we timed it, so we're like, okay, well, we could see Barbie, and then we have like this much time before Oppenheimer starts. But that was going to be at like a 10:30 show. We're like, that's going to be like 1:30 in the morning when it's over. Nah. So we just skipped Oppenheimer for now, but we did watch Barbie.
Okay, am I just not woke? What is Oppenheimer?
It's about the atomic bomb.
Oh. Okay. I was so confused. I was like, I thought it was a Barbie reference. I was so lost.
Those are the two big movies that came out at around the same time.
Yeah.
They're like one end of the spectrum and the other.
Right. It's the Christopher Nolan super depressing one. In like some scenes are in black and white, and then you have Barbie.
Okay.
I freaking loved Barbie. I thought it was fantastic.
I know I'm gonna love it. I think I'm also gonna love Oppenheimer. Honestly, I think I'm very excited about the whole. I want to go to like an Alamo Draft House so I can eat as I watch these movies because it's so long.
The theaters we go to, they have like food and drinks and all that, like alcohol and all that stuff that you can eat and watch the movie. And I'm like, that's the and the seats recline and everything. They're like super nice.
Oh God, yes,
a lot of the AMCs are switching over to full service now.
Oh, nice. I love that. I really like the full experience when I go to the movies.
Especially if like it's like going to see Avatar, which is 3 hours long. Like I need a snack. I need an intermission. I gotta pee.
Yeah, exactly. Same. My bladder is not strong enough for 3-hour movies.
No, surely not.
My husband is also in the not the same kind of, like, he's not academia, but he is in the scientific field because he's a nuclear reactor operator.
Oh,
and so Oppenheimer was like that's what he wants to see. He's
like,
Barbie, he was like, Xander, my son, he was like, I like Barbie.
Yeah, you guys have to go watch Oppenheimer then. Like it has to happen.
Let's see. Ali, I've loved everything you've written so far. Your next two books are very different.
Very different.
What inspired the change? And can you tell us more about them? Cannot wait for the vampires.
Yes. So, you know what's funny is that, like, for example, my YA book was actually written between The Love Hypothesis and Love Theoretically. So I guess what I'm saying is it was actually written a while ago, but it's getting published now because of publishing times. And I just really, really wanted to write a chess book. Like I had it in my heart. And then the more I plotted it, the more I kind of realized that it had to be, you know, a YA book because they had to be, you know, 18 and 20. And so that's kind of how it ended up being a YA book. The vampire one, I wanted to write so bad, but like, you know, I was under contract for 3 books and they were supposed to be rom-coms that were in STEM. So it's not like I had a lot of leeway for that. And then after I finished my 3rd book, they were like, well, let's renew the contract. And that's when like my agent was like, what do you want to write? And I was like, do you remember that werewolf book I told you about? I want to write that. And she kind of negotiated so that I could. Because it's a little bit of a risky move even for my publisher. Like it's, you don't know if it's gonna sell well. So
for one will be buying it for sure.
I mean, thank you, I appreciate it. But like also, you know, sometimes you just gotta write what you gotta write. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it calls to you, and so like honestly, I've always loved. I grew up reading Melanie Singh and J.R. Ward and
Love J.R. Ward.
right, like the
I was going to say, you
Black
said a
Brotherhood.
keyword there for Kaylani.
And like Chris Cole, like these are, you know, they were such formative authors for me. So, you know, werewolves and like slightly paranormal stuff, kind of urban fantasy was, I don't know, it was really the thing that I loved growing up. So I always knew that I wanted to write a book like that at some point. And I'm just glad that my agent made it happen and negotiated it, you know.
I love that you had some Twilight references, and then all of a sudden, what do we see?
A lot of people told me, and a lot of
vampires are coming.
Okay, to be honest, a lot of people told me, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, so the book was a Twilight fan fiction." The truth is, this is really a coincidence, but I actually didn't know originally that Misery was going to be a vampire. Like, she was going to be human originally. But then the more I was writing the book, the more I was like, I don't know, it doesn't work. She should be something else. So I can tell you that it's kind of a coincidence, but maybe my brain knew.
Your brain was all vampires.
So just to be clear, is this the steamy one?
This one is, yeah, like it's steamy, definitely. I was just doing, I was going through it because I was on my last round of corrections this weekend. And I was like, oh, they're having sex again here. I had forgotten. I was like, this is kind of boring. It's kind of boring to proofread your own sex scenes. It's like very play by play, and you're like, oh, still.
Well, I am all here for the smutty vampire werewolf action. Like, this is going to be top tier. I can already feel it.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, it's written with my whole heart, and yeah, I'm excited for it to be out and for people to get to read it. You know.
Let's see. Go through these comments super quick. Barbells and Books says, I live in Sevierville, not too far away. Oh, around me. So those that I mentioned are not too far for you. T says, I'm too far away from all of those events. She's in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Kaylani hasn't heard of Barbie versus Oppenheimer. It's the biggest debate right now. Yeah. Yeah. You see on Instagram and stuff, all these Barbie, Oppenheimer.
I have a very young baby.
Unplugged. I've been moving. I mean, you guys should see look at this situation.
I get it. Yeah.
We are not living our best lives right now. I wanted to see Barbie. I just don't have the time. So anything else, lost over my head.
I have no interest in Oppenheimer except Cillian Murphy is the main guy. So kind of want to watch this for him.
Cillian Murphy is the guy from Peaky Blinders, right? That's that movie that you guys are talking about.
I am watching Peaky Blinders right now, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy.
He is fine. He is so fine.
His voice, his
eyes,
attitude, yes, his cheekbones. I am offended by his cheekbones. He's excellent, and he's such a good actor too. So
he's a really good actor.
Yeah, the vampire desire was seeping in with love. Theoretically,
it must have been. Yeah,
it was. So it was all those subliminal messages were just trickling through.
So I recently filmed like a huge bookish unboxing thing, and one of the boxes that I did was a bookish box, and they always come with like a bookish shirt. And this has come since the last live show, and it's a Love Hypothesis shirt.
Oh, really?
And that's what I'm wearing today. But I wanted to show it to you because I wanted to ask you what it means because I have no clue.
I don't even know.
Here's
yeah. It means I love you. I think I've seen that shirt before.
Yeah, it means I love you. Okay.
Yeah, it means I love you.
I have no idea what this means. Okay.
Get it. Absolutely get it. They should come with translations.
Oh, and another thing. Okay, so in the last live show that we had you on, where you were here, sorry. You had said
I deserve this.
You had said for Camp SeasonAthon that we should name our cabins after the dogs.
We did.
We had Einstein, and we had Bailey, and we had Chewy, and we did that, and we had like their pictures up and everything. Cabin Bailey is the cabin that won. There were over 400,000 pages submitted. Yeah.
Wow.
But something that I know that you're just going to be so tickled about is since then, Kaylani and I have both gotten new puppies.
Yes.
Where are they?
In the back.
Mine's under my chair right now. Do you know where yours is, Kaylani?
Mine's outside playing with the other dogs.
Right. So are they integrating well with the other dogs? Are they happy?
Well, it's crazy because I already had a dog, obviously Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
We got Kodiak before we moved, and then we moved in with my father-in-law, and they have 2 more dogs. So now there's 4 dogs back there. Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, he's a German Shepherd, Siberian Husky.
Oh
mix.
my god! Is he the most beautiful dog?
He's gorgeous. He's
I
gorgeous.
Hold on.
Oh
let
my
me let me get my little guy here. His name is Snicker. He's a golden doodle. So he's my little snickerdoodle.
He's so cute.
I love this for you guys. You truly are living your best lives. Maybe not with the move, but dog
Well,
pet
once we move
wise.
this over, I'll be living my best life. Oh, he's so big now.
Yeah, he is. Oh,
Oh my god! Ah,
Oh my gosh, he's huge.
his paws. His paws are a thing of beauty. Oh my god. He's so big and he's so loving.
Oh, he's a big cuddler.
How old is
He loves to be held. He sleeps with me every night.
Oh, I love this for you.
How old is he now, Mel?
He's like, hi, baby. He's about 5 months old now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's gonna grow larger.
I think our puppies are around the same age, and yours looks much bigger than mine. And Kodiak's paws are about the same size as yours. And he's still growing into them. He's getting there.
Right.
He's
I
a big
really-
super nugget, and he feels like a fleece blanket.
Oh my god, I bet. It looks
He's
let
the
me
so
go see
soft.
if I can-
ever.
If I can grab Kodiak, you guys.
Please, I need to. I really love when puppies are in that, like, I'm still growing into my limbs stage and I'm still trying to figure out my body stage. They're the cutest.
He's
Oh
just
my
the
God.
sweetest little thing.
So did he integrate well in the household and does he get along with other dogs
He does.
and cats?
So the very first day, oh, you so tired. The very first day, it was funny because so we have 2 other dogs. We have Einstein, the Australian Shepherd, and we have Bella, who's a Chihuahua. And he was like about the same size as the Chihuahua, maybe a little tiny bit smaller. And so he was smaller than both of them, but they were both scared of him.
Oh my God, his ears are.
That's him.
You see the doggy on the TV?
Oh my God, he's the cutest. You guys.
Say hi. Okay, he's so heavy. I gotta put him down.
How much does he weigh?
I don't even know. Last time we checked, he was in the 20s.
Yeah, I checked him
these paws
a few
are
days
huge.
ago, and he was 29 pounds.
Yeah, his paws are huge. Huge. All right, buddy, back outside you go.
I love this. Like, I love that you guys are enriching your lives this way. What about the cats, though?
The cats? Oh, the cats are fine.
The cats are like,
Yeah.
we're the bosses here.
Yeah, with the only issue we've had with him and the other dogs. Oh gosh. Okay, bye. Has been food.
Oh, is he stealing their food?
Well, they want his food and he wants their food. So we have to feed him in a separate room from them because he eats puppy food,
Oh,
which is
right, yeah.
better than the regular dog food.
We had the same thing. We got a kitten in January, and we had kitten food. And our adult cats were obsessed with the idea of kitten food, and we were like,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Yeah, we
No.
our cat food is up on. We have one of those big cat tree things, and we actually have their cat food sitting up on the top shelf, of that, so the dogs don't get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
I'm hot now. He
I
is like a big teddy bear.
He's like a
Surprisingly,
blanket.
I don't know how this happened, but they have another dog, like I mentioned, and he is also a German Shepherd Siberian Husky mix, but he is the complete opposite. He is white-haired, big, fluffy, blue eyes. They're the
Aw.
same breed, totally different dog.
Just one thing is more dominant in one than the
Yeah,
other.
one got more husky, and then ours got more German Shepherd.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Snicker is probably going to surpass Kodiak in size eventually.
No, he already is. He's much bigger than him. Much bigger.
Yeah, he's a big floofer. He's such a. I love just holding him.
He hugs you back, like
he does.
I love that so much.
He also likes to be sometimes, not all the time. He likes to be little spoon in the bed, so it's like little spoon, medium spoon, and my husband's big spoon.
Oh, I love this.
And it's very sweet until you can't move and you're like, I can't breathe. I'm stuck in the middle of y'all.
Yeah, you're in the middle. It's hard. Sometimes I try to spoon my cats, and my cats are like, "Who are you? What do you want? Go away! I despise you." And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm so sorry if I feed you."
Peaky Blinders, yes, such a good show. I've never even heard of it.
You've never
It's
heard of
on
Peaky Blinders?
Netflix.
I've never heard of
It's
Peaky.
like okay. Have you read Jade City?
Mm-mm.
It's like the TV show of that,
but
like set in the old times. I didn't watch it that much. My husband watched it, but even from what I was watching, it was really good. It's very engaging.
All right. Snicker is the cutest thing. I agree. Like, I mean, I say that he's the cutest thing, and then I'm like, Einstein, he's handsome, and Bella she's feisty. Bella can be super cute, and she can also be terrifying.
That's Chihuahuas. They are assertive. They know what they
have
want.
Big dog energy.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. Inside. Yeah.
He is super cute. Yeah, I catch her every once in a while, and I can catch her like smiling, and she's just like,
oh my god.
She gives you the big eyes and the goofy smile, and I'm just like, you're just the cutest thing. But then there's this guy, and I'm just like, no, you're the cutest thing.
Hey, it's a tough competition between them. Like they know what they're doing.
And then this guy, that's Einstein. So he's right here. He's passed out. They all smile for me. I'm just like, I love you guys.
I'm glad they're friends. And
yeah. Oh yeah. So like the very first day, it was funny because like I said, he was a little bitty thing. He was smaller than both of them, and they were both like, Bella was like, I am not having anything to do with that thing. And Einstein was terrified. I'm like, you're huge. He's tiny. Why are you scared? And then
it's the energy. It's
the next day he was like, okay, I'm going to show him who's boss. And so he had like one paw on each side, and he was like over the puppy, and he had one paw on each side of him, looking down and going, wolf. He's like, I'm the boss. And since then, he's been like, okay, I'm the boss, so you got to listen to me. But Bella's the boss of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Chihuahuas are they know what they want.
Well, she's also like 12 years old, so she's been around the longest. We've had her since she was this big. No. Yeah, she is the boss.
Aside from the puppies, which are, we could talk about puppies all day long, and we would never leave. But outside of the 2 books that are coming out, which is so awesome, your publishing schedule, I feel like, is like jam-packed right now.
It feels like, but I think it's because a lot of books just kind of, I think it's 2 a year really, but like then
maybe just because I'm seeing it everyone's talking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, she has so much going on. Are you working on anything else?
Well, yeah, so I had to turn in another book, and I did, which is also a book set in STEM. And then right now I'm writing something just like because I want to write it, and it's something that might never see the light of the day, but it's like a new adult book, and I'm really feeling it right now. So I'm just writing for fun right now, and then I'm contracted for 1 more book, and I'll have to write that too, because sometimes it's just nice to write something that is not in your contract. Just like it feels freeing and fun.
Yeah.
And can always be added to a contract later.
Yeah, I mean, if someone wants, and if not, I definitely use Kindle Unlimited, which I have no idea how to put something on Kindle Unlimited, but I will figure it out, I'm sure.
What are you reading right now? Or
Well,
what have you read lately that you loved?
So I'm gonna do an event with Zoraida Cordova and Nisha Sharma in 2 days. They're coming here to Austin, and they're gonna be at Book People. And so I'm writing the books that we're gonna talk about. I'm reading the books that we're gonna talk about during the events. Which I had read already, but like a while ago. And one is Tastes Like Shakar, which is you guys might have read Dating Dr. Dill.
Oh yeah.
And so that's kind of like the sequel, and you see again the characters from Dating Dr. Dill. And then Kiss the Girl, which is a retelling of Little Mermaid. Mm-hmm. It's part of that like Happy Ever After, I think it's called. It's a like Disney series of romance. There was they did Buy the Book, which was Beauty and the Beast, and If the Shoe Fits by
yes.
Mm-hmm. So I think this is the third in that thing, and yeah, so it's I'm reading those, and you know they're amazing. But these are also like two authors that I know and I'm familiar with and who are amazing, and then. Yeah, and then I don't know. I haven't read Fourth Wing, which I know I'm gonna love. I know. Like everyone tells me, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna love. So that is probably what I'm gonna read afterwards.
I
actually started that yesterday.
I have to show you my tab. I ruined my sprayed edges for this. Oh, I can't reach it. It's too high. But I literally tapped the hell out of that book. It was so good.
I know I'm gonna love it. Like everyone told me, it's your gem. It's like the kind of thing.
No, you're literally going to love it.
I'm so excited.
Right up your alley.
I'm so excited.
If you like J.R. Ward, if you like things like Enemies to Lovers, it's fast paced. You won't be if there's crack in it. She put crack in the book.
I know that's what everyone tells me. Like I was talking with Lo from like Christina Lauren, and she was like, "This book put me in the biggest reading slump because I'm like, what can I read now?"
The ending is wild. It like literally start to finish. I didn't want to put it down. I actually took that camping, and I couldn't read it because we were out doing family things. And every time I would get back, I'm like, "Don't talk to me. I have to."
Yeah, I cannot wait. I hope to have it read by the time we meet at Stimulate, so we can talk.
We'll talk about it. Yes. Oh my gosh! Please read it so we can gush.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, don't tell me.
I know. I mean, there's honestly no way I'm not going to like everyone who knows me and knows my taste has been like, "What are you waiting for?"
Yeah.
So I know.
Don't wait.
I know. Yeah.
So
like
I originally pre-ordered the one with the pretty sprayed edges and everything, but then I found out it was going to be in one of my book boxes, and I knew it was going to come with like pretty cover and everything. So I returned the one that I had pre-ordered, and I put myself on like a hold on Libby to get it, and I was number 85 in line on Libby, and it came in a few days, like a couple weeks, like a week and a half, something like that ago, and I'm like, I can't read it right now because there were other things I had to read, but I went ahead and I accepted it. And so yesterday I finally started it, and I'm only 4% of the way in, but it returns in 3 days. So I'm like, I hate
it. I hate when that happens, and it's like, oh my God, I'm racing against time. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, Mel, as soon as you get into it, you won't want to put it down. Those 3 days are not going to matter. I swear.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to get it done before it returns because I can't handle another hole like getting at the bottom of that wait list.
I know I can't imagine. I think I don't know if I'm gonna listen to the audiobook because I do have the
audiobook is really good.
Should I just so I'm just gonna do the audiobook. Like I'm gonna buy the audiobook. I'm so happy I have the edition with the sprayed edges. I bought it at Target. Yeah, and I just saw it the week that it came out, and I was like, my God, this is so beautiful. And then I found out that there was like a shortage everywhere, and I'm like, I was so wise.
I pre-ordered mine the weekend before it sold out. Or not pre-ordered, I bought mine. So I got mine the day that nobody could find it anymore. It was like a steal, and it was only because my friend Karina was like, girl, this book is going around everywhere, maybe you should snag it. And I was like, say less. And then of course Mary Liz is like, I'm gonna do an edition, and I'm like, now I'll have to.
Definitely. Actually, for me, I think it was Adriana Herrera who originally recommended it to me, and she was another person who was like, you're gonna love this book.
Yeah.
And that's why when I saw it at Target, I was like,
when I took my copy back to Barnes and Noble, the girl screamed because she was like, I wanted this and we were sold out. And so she's like, it's not going back on the shelf, but it's going
it's like, I love it. I love this for her, honestly.
Truly. I've seen TikToks recently of somebody that's like, it's July 28th and I just stopped at Target and they had a sprayed edges edition. I'm like, girl, you better snag it now.
Yeah, yes.
It's like a freaking unicorn out in the wild.
Right? Absolutely. And those edges are like legitimately beautiful. Like they're stunning.
And apparently Iron Flame is like the first run of that. If you want pretty sprayed edges, pre-order.
I already pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it before I finished the book. I got like 200 pages in and I was like, pre-order.
Honestly, I think this time maybe they will print more. Like maybe this time they will know better than, yeah.
I don't think they were prepared for how big this was going to be.
Oh, definitely.
Even the author wasn't.
Yeah. I think the imprint is really cool. Like I was checking, they have a bunch of new titles coming out, like from the same imprint as Fourth Wing, and they all sound so amazing, and all the covers are fantastic. And I think that
a lot of them have the sprayed edges too.
Yeah.
I already pre-ordered all of their ones with sprayed edges because I was like, I will not miss out. I will not miss out on this.
Okay, but I'm gonna do it sooner that you're mentioning it because like this is the time, and I do love like sprayed edges are my favorite thing that a book can have. Like, you know, some people like foil, but I am a sprayed
edges hoe for sure.
Yeah,
I like both. I want the sprayed edges and the pretty foil. I want the gorgeous naked book. You know, all parts of it. I want the gorgeous end pages. Like, I need a beautiful book. I don't care if I hate the book. I need a beautiful book.
I know.
There's nothing worse than having a beautiful book on your shelves and looking at it and being like, dang, I wish the inside was just as nice. You know?
Yes.
Laura says, I know you have different ways of choosing your TBR. Ali, do you have any games to choose your TBR, or are you a mood reader?
You know, I found out about like the concept of games from you guys. You guys were telling me how you guys do it. Like I didn't even know it was a thing. So usually the truth is most of the books that I read are the books that I am blurbing, and like those pile up really, really quickly. And usually you have a deadline. What did I blurb recently? Well, so the book that I am reading for a blurb right now is A Tempest of Tea. I don't know if I can pronounce the name of the author. Hafsa. I'm just really bad at
Hafsa Faisal?
Yes. Faisal? Okay.
I've seen the cover and it's freaking stunning.
The book, you're gonna love this book. Like the main character her name is Arthi. She's so badass, and there's vampires, and the prose is just, I'm obsessed with this book. And so it's really, really good. Again, like I just kind of, this was in my blurb pile, and I started it, and then my life was just kind of consumed by it.
Okay, I will be pre-ordering. Thank you very much for
fantastic. It's really good. I think it might technically be YA, but it reads very up. I actually have no idea because it reads very upper.
I feel like her other series also kind of read upper YA.
Right. Yeah. That's like it feels. Those kind of books that could straddle the line between adult and YA.
Yeah.
But great. And I just blurbed The Breakup Tour by Austin Sigmund.
Emily Wimberly.
Thank you. Yes. I'm like, how do you pronounce that name? Yeah. So they are huge Taylor Swift fans, and so am I. And this book is not modeled after Taylor Swift, I wouldn't say, but like it has, a pop star, and she's famous for her breakups, And so I was like, this is the Summer of the Eras tour. I have to read it right now, and it was a delight. and I think it's coming out in January, and so that's gonna be perfect because we're all gonna be like, oh no, it was such a good summer with Taylor, and now we don't have Taylor anymore, and that's how we.
Perfect
Yeah, the book
timing
will be
for
the
that.
nice reprieve. Yep.
Yeah.
We've actually had Emily and Austin for one of the SeasonAthon readathons and have had them on here. That was right before Kaylani joined the crew.
Pre-me.
Yeah, it was pre Kaylani. But yeah, we had them and they were just so sweet and fun. I really I think he's he is a little bit of a ham, I think. It's funny because he's like lawyer, but
I think he's something like that, like something
he's like a lawyer, but then he's like telling his clients, "Here, read my rom-com."
I love it.
Oh my god, it's just too cute.
So I once did an Instagram live with them and Ali Brady, who are co-writers, and in the Instagram live, we had to read some of our sex scenes, and it was the most embarrassing thing I have ever done. I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. But they were just so chill about it, and I think we ended up calling ourselves as a group Avengers Age of Orgasm or something.
Love
I was
that.
like, wow, I love everyone in this bar.
We actually, me and Clint and Kaylani did something similar to that. We were picking different books with steamy scenes. I think a lot of them were like Katie Robert and stuff. And we were each like, we were reading the steamy scenes, and it was hilarious when Clint was reading because as he was reading, Kaylani and I were just acting out.
I love that. I love that.
We were just dying. We were. Oh, it was so funny.
Amazing.
That will be a live I will never forget. That was in an after hours live.
I know, it's one of those things that you're like, wow, this is an experience, the experience of a lifetime. Truly.
Yeah, we've the after hours lives always get interesting.
That is a nice way of putting it.
Interesting. They're fun. And there have been times that I've had to literally crawl away from because I couldn't walk anymore because we were doing shots and whatever.
Live show for a reason.
Yep. Well, I am so glad that you were able to make it here today and that we were able to talk to you about this book.
I am so sorry about last time, and thank you for having me back and for letting me redeem myself.
Thank you for coming back and taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you've been busy, so.
And I mean, honestly, no, no.
We love having you on here, and you're always such a pleasure, and your books are all fantastic. I cannot wait to read everything else you ever write ever. You are an autobi author for me.
For sure.
Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you stimulate, Kaylani, and
I will be searching you out.
Melanie, I think you should come too. I mean, I just think.
I mean, I'm in Tennessee, so.
But I mean, bring the puppies, and
I will definitely look out to find you at a future event where I can actually attend.
Absolutely. I mean, if they invite me to go to Tennessee, I will 100% go. I would love that.
Laura said, so glad I was able to make this live. Really enjoyed hearing from you. Thanks. Goodness. Sorry. Got a little choked up there.
She was so sad to see you go.
I know. I've also got to go too because I.
Are you okay?
Just so sad. It's so emotional. Bringing tears to my eyes. My husband and I are actually going away for like a 2-night getaway, and we're leaving as soon as we're done with this live. So he's packing right now. So
have all the fun.
Thanks. I'm going to be gambling.
Well, hopefully you win all the money.
Exactly. Hopefully. Come back super rich, and and then you're gonna have your own.
You're gonna pay for my art. Marty's like, what are you gonna do if you win? I'm like, I'm gonna pay for some more art. We owe a lot for my art. All right. Well, I hope everybody here enjoyed this live show. And if you did, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, go buy all of Allie's books ever and all of her future books because they're going to be amazing. Make sure you subscribe to Kaylani as well. Her link is down in the description. We love her and cannot wait to watch more of her videos. And I cannot wait to see your Steamy Lit vlog because I'm sure that's going to be a thing.
I'm going to try.
It's going to be Kaylani and the cart.
Yes, exactly.
And I can't wait to see the two of you together. That'll be awesome. And Bethany says, Allie lives are always the best. Well, thank you again, Allie, and thank you everybody that's here. Thank you, Kaylani. And
having me.
Until next time, guys, remember to always be completely you. Bye.